suspect was firing a long gun with multiple rounds at the victims.
2 mass shootings in less than 1 day. The tragedy unfolding in Ohio, where 9 people were killed overnight. And the El Paso community mourns the loss of 20 people killed in a shooting rampage at a mall. We begin this morning with breaking news after a gunman opened fire outside a Walmart in El Paso. There is another mass shooting in less than 24 hours. The second shooting in Dayton, Ohio. Eyewitness News reporter Erica Zuko is tracking the very latest. And Erica, what do we know?
Well, Sharon, right now, Dayton's mayor is getting ready to give a news conference with more updates on this case. But as for what we know so far, 10 people are dead, 9 victims, and the shooter. That's all according to Dayton police, and they say another 16 people are hurt. Police say it happened just after 1 a.m. in Dayton's Oregon district. That's an area that has a lot of bars and restaurants, so you can expect there were a lot of people outside at the time. There were also first responders in the area doing routine patrol when a gunman opened fire. Police describe the weapon that he used as a long gun. Officers say they took down the suspect by shooting and killing him.
Dayton is a very safe area. The downtown Dayton is a very safe area. This is extremely unusual, obviously, for any community, let alone Dayton in our Oregon district. This is unheard of and very sad. It's a very tragic evening.
Police say they are working on identifying the suspect and after that determining what a possible motive might have been. At this point, they do not believe there is any other active threat, but they are investigating whether anyone else could have been involved. Now, again, this just happened a few hours ago. A lot of information still developing, and we'll be monitoring all updates as well as that news conference coming up from Dayton's mayor. We'll have updates throughout the newscast. Sharon?
Erica. Now to the mass shooting in El Paso. Officials are expected to give a full update in a press conference in just a few hours. In the meantime, here's what we know right now. 20 people are dead and 26 others injured. We're told many of the injuries are life-threatening. There's usually huge crowds at that shopping area where the shooting occurred. The accused gunman, 21-year-old Patrick Crusius, is in custody. He's from Allen, just north of Dallas, and was a student at Collin College. Authorities have not said anything about a motive. They're investigating a letter they believe the suspect wrote before the attack, and it says, in part, he thinks white people are being replaced by, quote, a Hispanic invasion in Texas, end quote. El Paso police are investigating this as a possible hate crime. So far in 2019, the number of mass shootings across the U.S. has reached 21, with this latest one. That's according to statistics that define a mass shooting as 4 or more people killed. Well, the FBI and ATF investigators are helping El Paso police with the investigation. The Walmart is part of a large shopping complex sharing a parking lot with the mall. That's where Eyewitness News reporter Addie Guajardo joins us live with the latest. Addie?
Well, Sharon, this remains a very active scene. Behind me, you can see patrol cars continue to block off the area of that Walmart where that shooting happened, which is right next to Cielo Vista Mall. That was really close by. That's why they're saying that there was a ton of people in this area. Now, the shooting left 20 people dead and 26 people injured. And this is what we know so far. Officers did arrest suspect 21-year-old Patrick Crusius without an incident. Now, we're told about 100 Walmart employees were working at the time of the shooting, and shoppers ranged to as many as 3,000 people in this area. Many families were out shopping here for school supplies. School here in El Paso starts in less than 2 weeks in some areas. Now, this is a popular shopping area for people who live in Juarez, Mexico, because El Paso is a border town. Now, the Mexican president did confirm via Twitter in a video at least 3 Mexican nationals died in this shooting.
And I wasn't really paying attention, but I heard do, 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 and then it went do, 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 like closer together. I told him there's a shooter, and we took off running towards the back of the store.
People just started bolting straight into the store in order to get to cover.
Now, the shooting is being investigated as a hate crime, and a press conference is set a little later today where we will bring you the latest information. Now, this El Paso is a big city, but what I really wanted to touch on is just when we checked into our hotel last night, even the receptionist was telling me she was actually at the Walmart last night where the shooting happened. She heard those shots fired off and saw some of those bodies laying on the ground. She was a little shaken, she tells us. Back to you, Sharon.
Again, police say the suspect who was taken into custody is from Allen, Texas, near Dallas. This is video from a home in Allen associated with the suspect that was searched by police yesterday afternoon. In the hours after the shooting, authorities blocked off streets near the home. Officers appeared to speak briefly with a woman who answered the door before entering that home. Presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke, who is from El Paso, canceled his campaign events after hearing about the tragedy in his hometown. He spoke to cameras and the media after landing in his hometown last night.
I would just say that in addition to everything that we're doing for our fellow El Pasoans right now and meeting them in this time of suffering and need and crisis, in addition to making sure that we change our laws so that it's harder for something like this to happen again, I think we also have to ask ourselves about the level of hatred and racism that we're seeing in this country right now that could lead to an event like the one that we saw here today, and that is on all of us.
O'Rourke was born in El Paso and served as congressman in the state's 16th congressional district, which includes El Paso. President Trump tweeted his condolences yesterday. He said, quote, "Today's shooting in El Paso, Texas was not only tragic, it was an act of cowardice. I know that I stand with everyone in this country to condemn today's hateful act. There are no reasons or excuses that will ever justify killing innocent people. Melania and I send our heartfelt thoughts and prayers to the great people of Texas."
All right, and first alert Doppler radar, we've got some showers showing up. Don't get too excited, but at least we've got some rain out there. I'll let you know how long that's going to last. And for today, it's going to be hot, not as hot as we've seen lately. Highs in the mid-90s, a little more cloud cover. So as we head into next week, is it going to get hotter or are we going to get some relief? I'll let you know. It's coming up.
Thank you, Paul. We're continuing our coverage of the El Paso shooting. After the break, what a local hospital in San Antonio is doing to help victims.